Coming up on the AFN Europe Report.
There was a special 4th of July celebration in Berlin, and we'll tell you why. And U.S. Army Europe's 1st Personnel Command conducts an inactivation ceremony as Army Europe continues to transition. Plus, the 16th Sustainment Command in Bamberg, Germany cases their colors as they set to provide their services in Iraq.
Those stories and more.
Your station. Your stories.
The AFN Europe Report starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Airman David Larva. When you think of places to celebrate Independence Day, Berlin, Germany is probably not one of them. The opening of the new U.S. Embassy over the 4th of July weekend had Germans and Americans celebrating. AFN's Gary Bartel was there.
The Air Force Jazz Band entertained the some 1,500 invited guests gathered on Parisier Platz behind the Brandenburg Gate, where the new embassy is located. The original building was also at this site. It was destroyed in World War II. The new embassy cost more than $100 million and took 10 years to plan and build. The weather wasn't very cooperative for the big 4th of July party, and when the formal inauguration ceremony got underway, the heavens opened up and the umbrellas came out. U.S. Ambassador William Timken told the crowd that in some cultures, rain on an inaugural event is a good omen. And in his speech, former President George Herbert Walker Bush echoed that sentiment.
Since unification, Germany has continued to lead the way forward as one of the prime engines of global economic growth. And so too has Germany risen from the ashes of hatred and intolerance to become a model of an open, dynamic society devoted to the freedoms and values that unite civilized people the world over.
The former president was one of the key leaders involved in making German reunification possible. In Berlin, I'm Gary Bartel.
There's a new scam circulating in the States. While it's unknown if the scammers will target U.S. citizens overseas, officials say you might want to notify friends and family. This is how it works. A caller claims to be a jury coordinator and says you've neglected a jury summons. If you protest, the caller asks for your social security number and date of birth to verify your information and cancel the arrest warrant. They really use this information to steal your identity. The FBI and the federal court system have issued a nationwide alert on their websites warning consumers about the scam. After 65 years of personnel service, 1st PERSCOM says goodbye to U.S. Army Europe. Army Sergeant Arthur Hamilton reports from Heidelberg, Germany, where Army leadership is saying this is a sign of the Army's ability to make improvements during transition.
1st PERSCOM cased its colors and was formally deactivated during a ceremony on Kilbourne Kaserne. The ceremony marked an end to nearly 65 years of personnel service to soldiers in the European theater.
By no means does the casing of the 1st PERSCOM flag symbolize an end to high-quality personnel service to usurer. Just the opposite. It represents our ability to transform to a better future.
Colonel David T. Jones, the final commander of the 1st Personnel Command, also had some parting words for the ceremony.
It's about serving a higher calling, living a life of selfless service, one of our Army's core values. The soldiers and civilians of 1st PERSCOM have epitomized this value.
Reporting from Kilbourne Kaserne near Heidelberg, Germany, Army Sergeant Arthur Hamilton.
The 16th Sustainment Brigade in Bamberg, Germany, activated just under a year ago. It's U.S. Army Europe's only sustainment brigade on the books. And after 11 months of intense preparation, the soldiers are being called to support Operation Iraqi Freedom. Army Sergeant Jerry Malik talks to soldiers as they case their colors.
Since January, the 16th Sustainment Brigade has trained hard for their wartime mission. In a few short weeks, its soldiers will deploy to Iraq to do their job for real. Enterprise, Alabama native Private Trevor Rudd is eager to tackle his first ever deployment.
We've got really good training. I've made a lot of great friends. I have a lot of faith in my leadership, so I don't foresee any problems downrange.
Under bright sunny skies, the 16th Sustainment Brigade took the next step toward deployment by casing its colors. a move in which one 22-year veteran is ready for.
I'm very confident in the capabilities and the abilities and the skills and the knowledge of the leaders that we have within the brigade.
We know that the support will continue while they're doing this important mission.
Deputy Commanding General for the 21st Theater Sustainment Command, Brigadier General John Miller, highlighted the missions the brigade will take on once in Iraq, from managing all contracted services throughout the northern half of the country all the way to their most important task.
You will be training the logistics units of the Iraqi Army, and you will be moving them closer to their goal and our goal of a self-sufficient Iraqi Army.
The casing of colors closes another chapter in the history for the 16th Sustainment Brigade as it readies up to do its part in Operation Iraqi Freedom. And the next chapter will open in the weeks ahead when their colors are uncased on the ground in Iraq. Army Sergeant Jerry Malik, Bamberg, Germany.
Everybody has a story, and if you'd like to share yours, we'd love to hear from you. Send your story idea via email to stories@afne.army.mil. Plus, don't forget, you can also look us up on the web. We're at afneurope.net. All the stories you've seen tonight on the AFN Europe Report are available on our website. Once there, you can view, save, and send these stories to anyone you'd like. Coming up, a special team of firefighters from around Europe are training to respond to more than just local emergencies. In 1952, President Harry S. Truman was completing his term, and Singing in the Rain sang and danced its way into the movies. 1952 was also the year the Portuguese Air Force formed after combining the Army and Naval Aviation divisions into one independent branch of service. For the last 56 years, a different Portuguese air base is chosen to host the service's anniversary celebration. This year's chosen base was Air Base 4, which is home to Lodges Field and the 65th Air Base Wing. Air Base 4 served as a strategic launch point for Allied aircraft during World War II. After the war, the U.S. and Portugal reached an agreement allowing the U.S. Air Force to remain in the Azores. Today, Lodges Field is the largest U.S. base in Portugal and provides en route support for DoD, Allied and civilian personnel, and aircraft. Firefighters from various naval bases in Italy are getting together for a joint exercise. Both DoD civilian and Navy firemen train together to form a team that can respond anywhere they're needed.
Guys, did your safety checks up ahead?
In order to be the best, firefighters need to train with the best. Sailors and DoD firefighters from around Europe came together to get some top-notch training in Rota. Participants came from Sigonella, Naples, and Suda Bay to team up with Rota firefighters on June 17th for a week of valuable training, including this confined space rescue training. The firefighters represent part of a special response team trained to deploy to other installations in various countries in response to natural disasters and emergencies.
This training is very important, especially when we can deliver a product such as rescuing personnel or civilians in whatever scenario they have.
The Rota Fire Department took home Navy Region Europe Fire Department of the Year in 2007, making Rota a perfect place for this joint exercise.
The only way you're going to be the best is to train. Rota is the best, and it's all evolved around our training and our ability to stay proficient in our jobs.
Fire departments from around Europe hope to lend a helping hand and continue this training in years to come. Petty Officer John Twining, Rota, Spain.
4 years ago, the National Wildlife Federation started the Great American Backyard Campout to get families out of the house and into a tent. Over the years, military communities around the world have taken part in the event. And as Seaman Adam Wolf found out, families in Sigonella, Italy, are taking part in the campout for the first time.
Back in the United States, over 120,000 people signed up for the Great American Backyard Campout. And for the first time in the history of the event, the campout was held overseas, right here in Sigonella.
They don't have to go off base, they can come and have a good time right here. You know, we have the resources, we have everything we need to just let everybody have a good weekend and kind of have a little taste of home, you know. Good old camp out.
The all-day event featured fun and games for children and adults alike, including a slip and slide, water balloon fights, and an early evening cookout. The event was about spending some time with friends and family and getting out of the routine of everyday life.
Well, it helps develop families, you know, it brings them together, gives them a stronger bond and stuff, and you really have, with everything going on, the excitement of video games and everything going on, you have people sitting in the house, gets them outside, gets them enjoying the weather and the outdoors. It's really important, you know.
And, as is the tradition with many campouts, the long day ended with a campfire and scary stories. Seaman Adam Wolf, Sigonella, Italy.
Coming up, an American father and son are teaching a Korean martial art to a military community in Germany.
Getting stronger. It's a matter of choice. Just as building your physical fitness requires consistent time at the gym, building your spiritual fitness requires consistent time at God's gym, a house of worship. USAFE chapels are open for you. It's your faith. It's your choice. Strengthen your faith this week.
Hey USAFE, I'm Rockman Dunbar, and I'm honored to be here in Europe. I just wanted to say to you, thank you. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your dedication to this country. I also wanted to remind you to be safe. Take your time when you're traveling. Rest a little bit. And never drink and drive. Remember, it's your life. It's your choice. Choose wisely.
Kuksul-wan is a Korean martial art that encompasses all the different areas of fighting. Army Sergeant Vanessa Heinzelman introduces us to a father and son team who teach the martial art in Ramstein, Germany.
Michael and Ryan Grimes are not your normal father-son team. They teach a Korean martial arts called Kuksul-wan at the Ramstein Southside Gym.
Kuksul-wan is a family art. I have a lot of families. I have father-son teams, mother-son teams, father-daughter teams, older couples, younger couples, father-son like Ryan and I, because it lends itself to be able to do that.
Michael has taught martial arts for many years. He says that experience makes him forget what it's like to be a beginning teacher.
I tell him to slow down sometimes and talk louder, but he does really well with it.
Ryan has been doing martial arts since he was 5 years old. He's always taught classes with his dad and learned his teaching style from him.
His teaching style will probably be the same. Mine I wouldn't really have one, not that I know.
Michael says he isn't harder on his son than he is on the other students.
I've resisted being harder on him. I try to treat him fairly. He might not agree with that, I'm not sure.
He doesn't.
He's my dad, so he judges me a little bit harder than everybody else. So it gets a little bit, yeah.
Michael and Ryan started doing Kuksul-wan because of its consistency and variety. Staff Sergeant Vanessa Heinzelman, Ramstein, Germany.
That's all the time we have tonight. For everyone here at the AFN Europe Report, thanks for watching and good evening.